Let's finally get down to the nitty gritty. Who is the headbanger? What makes him tick? What turns him on? Turns him off? Let's find out. Q&A time. First question. Finally get to know the real me. If you were a fruit, which one would you be and why? All right, you asked for it, and you got, well, literally one of you asked for it to do Q&A, and I, of course, listened, so at least, one of you wanted this, and but it's kind of cool. I got a decent amount of questions here, so that's pretty cool. More than I thought, actually, so let's do this. Let's get into it. Q&A. First, I always have to ramble on for a little bit before we start. I just want to get a big reminder on an announcement officially. The sixth annual Golden Horn Awards is coming up Sunday, January 15th, 8 o'clock Eastern, live. Be here. I didn't get to do a nomination show this year like I've done the last couple. Part of it wasn't in time, and also I kind of didn't really want to do it this time. I think while it's cool, I think it takes a little bit away from the surprise of obviously the nomination. So in order to see who got both nominated and, of course, who ends up winning each category, you will have to tune in to the Golden Horn Awards. I really hope you do, guys. Let's get a lot of views this year. It's the only horror award show, annual horror award show out there. Please watch. Be there with us. Support me and my co-host, Lucio Finci. Sunday, January 15th, live at 8 o'clock Eastern. Be there. It's time for the hornies. Let's get horny. Great year in horror, as usual. All right. Let's do it. I got a stack here. They're actually color-coded. A little headbanger suggested that, which is cool. She's very organized. Being a filmmaker that she is, I can't argue with that. But they're still kind of mixed up, and I of course know all of them except for a couple that my daughter and my lady wrote, and I did not see what those were ahead of time. I'm sure they're going to be interesting. But okay, let's get going here. Favorite horror movie of the year? Are you kidding me? Why would I say that? It's the Golden Horn Awards. It's the biggest award on my annual award show, and I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. I hope these questions improve from here on out. This is cool. This is a good one, and I like that I had said last video that you can ask me some musical-related questions too, which is cool, and I definitely got quite a few of those. So here's one. What is your first memory of music that made an impact on your life? That's a really cool question. It's weird because I grew up in a fairly strict religious household, so the phrase secular music was unfortunately a phrase I knew all too well, and for a while there, we weren't allowed to listen to anything that wasn't, Christian-based. So like the first memories I have of secular music would have been like, I grew up in the 80s, so it would have been like 80s pop music, I guess, and I actually, to this day, like a lot of that, like, top 40 80s hits. But of course, that didn't really have an impact on me. Once I was able, in my early teen years, preteen years, able to finally venture off into those secular music, I would say probably the first band that really like hit me hard probably would have been Black Sabbath. And then maybe first band that really had a strong impact would be my favorite band to this day, and that's Soundgarden. When I heard their first record I heard by them was Louder Than Love, and I just adore them. And so that I would say that would be the first major impact of band that I truly love. But Black Sabbath would probably be the first heavy band that really was like, wow, there's this whole world out there for me to explore. Where the hell did Chars come from? All right, this is cool. I would say probably 3 years ago, season whatever, when I used to call my shows in seasons, like an actual show, whatever season it was at least 3 years ago. I did a Cinema Wasteland, which is a great convention every year in Cleveland, Ohio, and I, for the first time, got to meet and hang out with the great Jay Mattingly, in case you don't know who that is. Crazy Jay, he's called. That's with a K. He's on, good friend Jason over at Beyond the Realms. He's on a lot of his videos. They're good friends. If you don't know him from there, hopefully you're familiar with the toe tag film Murder Collection. And he was in one of those awesome segments. And he went simply by Gromer. So if you're familiar with that, that's who Crazy Jay is. He will also have a small but awesome role in my daughter's first feature-length horror film, I Dare You to Open Your Eyes. He has a part in that, so that's really cool. So that will go on his IMDb resume as well. Anyway, so it was the first time I had met him in person, and we're hanging out in a hotel room, and I'm shooting my video for the channel, and we're drinking. I think it was a great beer called Old Rasputin, and he's going to the camera. He's going to say cheers, but instead he says Chars. And then he quickly corrects himself, says, Chars, I mean cheers. And that was it. And it was really funny, of course, watching it back. And from there, it just kind of took on a life of its own. I kept saying it. We kept saying it to each other. Every time we'd have a beer, it'd be Chars. Jason started saying it on his channel, Beyond the Realms, and just kind of like a wildfire took over. And now I see like other people using it, which is awesome. And the funny thing is, anytime I hear someone say cheers, I kind of look because I'm like, what's cheers? Why aren't you saying Chars? So it's totally become imprinted in my vernacular and vocabulary. It's really strange, but it's awesome. So Chars to Crazy Jay for creating Chars. Favorite sandwich? For many, many years, I was a burger boy. And I still love burgers, but eventually maybe all that secular music got in my brain, and it's pulled pork. I love fucking a good barbecue sandwich. But pulled pork, definitely dethroned burger as my favorite sandwich. What is the first metal show you bought a ticket for? Is kind of a two-parter. And what is the last metal show you bought one for? That's really cool. It's kind of weird because like first couple shows I ever went to that would have had tickets, I didn't pay for them because I had a friend at the time. I was pretty young, and his older brother would take us to these shows. Half the time we probably weren't even supposed to get into them. So my first few really cool, legit shows are great shows, but I didn't technically pay for them. I saw Goo Goo Dolls early on in their career, before they were this like lame top 40 band, because they're from around here in Buffalo, New York. I saw Warrant, the 80s hair band. I hate calling them that though, because aside from Cherry Pie, that stupid song, they were actually a really damn good band. Seeing them live when I was younger was crazy, and I saw my first in live boobs, I'll say, in the crowd. And then I got to see an awesome show at a young age, Faith No More opening for Metallica and Guns N' Roses in a huge stadium. So those are my earliest shows, but to be honest, I can't remember. I couldn't answer what's the first metal show that actually I myself purchased a ticket for. That sucks. I can't answer that question. The last one, I've seen a handful of really good shows this year. Man, sad thing is I can't remember the last one I went to. Possibly Chelsea Wolfe, although you can't really call her metal. She does have some really heavy songs. But that's like the first show that comes to my mind, unfortunately. I am going to see Alcest in a couple weeks, so that's really cool. Here's a horror-related one. I guess the pink are horror cards. A great horror release you didn't get this year. That's really cool. There were several, of course. Money's been tight this year, so I definitely missed out on some really good stuff. First thing that comes to mind would be definitely the Herschel Gordon Lewis set by Arrow. There's two of them. There's like one's considered the deluxe and the one's normal, but the normal one is like the size of a cereal box, so like it's ridiculous. You have one amazing one and an even more amazing set. I'm definitely planning on getting one of the two of them. Probably just the regular set. It looks amazing anyway, but that's an awesome set to give Herschel Gordon his due. Such a prolific, low-budget horror filmmaker, of course, a legend, who we lost. But that would be the set that hurt the most I wasn't able to pick up, was that Arrow HGL set. Definitely plan on getting it, though. If anyone wants to send it to me, that's cool. Alright, here's a serious one. Does the show really improve your sex life? You asked me that too, like when I read that in my messages. You seem so skeptical. I mean, the skepticism just came out of the message. Yes, go back. I don't know what season it was. Maybe season 2. I did a Q&A, and someone actually said, well, go back and watch it. They said it improved his sex life with his girlfriend watching this show. So apparently, I exude some libidinous aura that comes out to at least one person. And honestly, people, took me a long time to fathom that and accept that. And I mean, can you imagine the burden that's on my shoulders, knowing that I can improve someone's sex life just by doing this? That's a lot to deal with, and took a long time. And I wouldn't wish that burden on anybody. Super salad. Every time. Dumb question, really. I'm a rabbit. I've always been a fan of roughage since my early days. I'll be at a restaurant and I'll hear a table next to me. I'll be eavesdropping. They'll be like, "Well, you get a salad with that dinner. What dressing you want?" And the person's like, "Oh, no thanks. I don't want a salad." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, get the salad and hand it over to me. I'll take a double salad today, any day. I love salad." How is your new band going? Thanks for asking. It's been going great. For those of you who don't know, I was in a band for many, many years, and we stopped putting into it. Was it 2 years ago now? So in a new band, it took us about a good year to find a drummer. It always takes a while to find a drummer. And we've been active now for about a year. We've played a handful of shows that have gone over really well. We hope to start playing some out-of-town shows, out-of-state shows this summer. And the cool thing is we'll be recording, we're doing a split record with another band around here, which are really great. And then we'll be doing our first EP release probably in the spring. So we'll be doing a lot of recording the next 4, 5, 6 months, which is awesome. I love the music. I love direction. It's basically called post-black metal. Our name of the band is Sertraline. There is a UK rock band called Sertraline. That is not us. But definitely find us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram. Give us some support. That's Sertraline. That is named after the medication. So if you're into that type of kind of wall of sound, intense post-black metal, definitely give us a look and give us some support. Really excited to start getting some recorded music out there for you guys to hear if you're into that stuff. So yeah, it's going great. Thank you. Ooh, most disappointing horror movie of the year. I can answer this. It's actually as great of a year that I feel it's been this year. There are several that I would say disappointed me that I had high hopes for. You guys know Blair Witch was a big disappointment if you saw Hope and I's review of it. Just because of the talent that was involved, even though the trailer already kind of prepared me for disappointment because I thought the trailer looked like shit. But having Adam Wingard involved, I just expected more. But since I've already talked about that, it hurts to say this, but Phil Stevens' picture, Lung 2, which was technically the sequel to Flowers, which, if you watch last year's award show, won Best Low Budget Film. I absolutely love that film. And he came out with that one, his next one this year. And, well, I'm not unfairly comparing it to Flowers. I hate to do that. It's its own film, and I realize that. And don't get me wrong, I like the film, but I just think just not nearly as good. So overall, I was disappointed with that film. Still like it. I rewatched it recently, but it's just nowhere near the level of Flowers. Green Room, which is a film that I've actually seen several people whose opinion I value have it, if not in their top 5. Some people I've seen it many times as someone's favorite horror film of the year. I liked it. I really liked the premise, but I felt like the execution was lacking, particularly. It sounds so like prop.
I feel like the execution was lacking.
Sometimes I just disappoint myself in the way I present my feelings. The final act was lackluster to me, and it kind of lost some of the impact. But it was a really cool story. I liked the punk element. I thought the story was cool, but okay film. But I'll give this away. I don't think it's up for any awards. Spoiler. Another one that I think got a lot of critical praise in Mind's Eye. I actually rewatched. I tried to rewatch every film that I've seen this year because sometimes it'll happen where and I've had that happen this year, where you watch a film, not like it so much first time, watch it again, and you love it. And that's such a cool thing when that happens. But it didn't happen with Mind's Eye. I actually think I liked it less the second time. I just don't think it was the script. To me, wasn't very well written. The dialogue is really hokey at times. You had a great cast, but what's her name? Lauren Ashley Carter, is that her name? I love her. And Larry Fessenden, of course, really good cast. Noah Sagan. They were great as usual, but then I think the other part of the cast was really poor at times, particularly that lead villain. I thought he was really annoying and cheesy, and I don't know. The stunts were cool. The score was pretty cool. There was some good lighting, but as a whole, I just thought it wasn't a very good film, and I know a lot of people love that film, which is a shame because, I liked Almost Human, his other film and stuff, but whatever. Just my thoughts. Most surprising horror movie of the year. I guess that would mean in a positive way, I guess. That's part of the excitement to me every year of watching as many horror films as I can that are new, obviously, is when you have low expectations for a film and then it ends up really surprising you in a positive way. Those are probably the films I look forward to the most. And every year there's at least a handful of them, and you'll see in the Horny nominations, hopefully when you watch it Sunday, January 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern, that there will be some films like that. And He Never Died was one with Henry Rollins that I love Henry Rollins so much, especially in horror films. But my expectations were pretty low. I thought it was awesome. If I had to pick one, though, that really surprised me, I would have to go with Hangman, which is a found footage film. And it just goes to show you that it can still be a viable subgenre of horror when done correctly. And it seems like, as much as I think all of us are ready for it to just go away, I think there's at least one every year that I think ends up adding some validity to keep the subgenre going. Hangman, really cool, creepy, well done, awesome final act. It also makes sense from the standpoint of filming. The whole film is shot just with security camera style, so you're just viewing all the things that are happening from different cameras as opposed to someone kind of like documenting something. I loved Hangman. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Awesome, surprisingly great horror movie this year. How many tattoos? Ooh, 12 or 13, I think, and counting. But I haven't got a new one in a long time. If I had the money, I would get one every day if I could. But so I think I have 13. So 13 and counting. Ooh, another music question. I guess the purple cards are music questions. This is cool. This is really cool. I know you love metal, grunge, and post-rock. You know me well. But what is another band that would surprise us that you like? I assume out of those genres. Yeah, believe it or not, I get it a lot too. Like, somebody like, oh, you like stuff that's not heavy or non-metal? Like, yeah. Honestly, I said earlier, I love kind of top 40 80s music because I grew up on it. I love 90s rap. Finchie and I always have like nights where we'll hang out and drink. We end up just listening to 90s rap and hip hop. I love modern underground rap, like Jedi Mind Tricks, stuff like that. Not mainstream stuff because it's just horrible. I hate country music. But anyway, I'm going off on a music tangent. I'll give a couple bands. Modest Mouse is a band that I've been a fan of for decades now, since the early days, and I still love their earliest material the best. But they eventually cracked through with a mainstream hit, Flow Down, a few years back. But that was like their 5th or 6th album into their career. So I love Modest Mouse. Definitely one of my favorite bands of all time. You know, a bit more of a newer, more active band would be. I actually think they're one of the best current bands on the planet. That's MGMT, which would probably surprise some people that I love them. I think they're just diverse, creative, and at the same time, they wear their influences on their sleeve, and their influences are other forms of music that I love. Ziggy Stardust era David Bowie definitely influences them big time. I think some other stuff. Brian Eno, of course. Even more contemporary stuff like Ween and the Flaming Lips. Just quirky, weird stuff, but still has kind of like a diverse. They can go from like a true rock song to a more dance type song, and everywhere in between, of course, with trippy elements. But yeah, I love MGMT. I think they're fantastic. Ooh, this is one that I have not seen because it must have came from Little Headbanger or The Misses. Who's your favorite Universal monster? Shit, that's something that changes probably. Like I'll watch one of the films and I'll say, he's my favorite. So that's really tough. I guess if I absolutely had to pick who my favorite was, I guess I would have to go Dracula. Such a strong love for Bela Lugosi. I mean, I love all those actors. Frankenstein would definitely be number two, and he's maybe someone who every now and then pushes Dracula out of the way. But just how Bela portrayed him and the character itself, and was the first to really take the Dracula character. Anyway, Dracula. I'm not gonna ramble. Favorite album of the year? Ooh, that's since the Hornies are only horror movies, I can't answer this one. That's tough. There's been a lot of great records this year. I should have actually thought about this one better before I started recording. Cold World came out with a great album this year. Mare Cognitum, lots of good black metal stuff. I guess if I had to pick, though, it would be Mono. Huge fan of the post rock band Mono. They came out with an amazing record this year, I guess. Without thinking about it too long and boring you by just sitting here with my head in the air, I'd go with Mono. And the name of the album escapes me. Spicy. What is your favorite season of American Horror Story? I can tell you my least favorite. I hated season 1. I just thought it was shit. And so therefore I wasn't really excited to watch that show after that, but Hope watched it, and kind of season 2 came out. She's like, watch it, give it a chance. It's actually a good show. So I've watched every season since being turned off by the first one. And that's tough. About the last one that they had, I liked the second half way more than the first half. So as far as complete season as a whole, I'd have to go Freak Show. I thought that was really cool. I love Carnies and the homages, of course, to Freaks, which is such a great film. I'd have to go Freak Show. What's your opinion on bagged juices? What's your opinion on bagged juices? I don't even know what the hell that means. So I think the lady asked me this, and I have no idea what that means. Bagged juices. So I have no opinion. I have no opinion on them because I don't know what the hell that is. What is your favorite Harry Potter character? Ooh, I gotta go Snape. Although I love Ron Weasley. I love his whole family. They're just adorable, and I love Ginger's, and his father's adorable. So I gotta go Snape though. Favorite new beer you tried this year? That's a tough one. The great brewery Grimm has finally upped their distribution here to New York. So I've had a lot of their. They make great IPA. They make great everything. But so I've had a lot more of their beers this year, and every one I've liked a lot. But I guess if I just quickly pick one beer, is the brewery is Lord Hobo, cool name, and they have all their beers are really good, but they have one called Boom Sauce, and I love that. And to this day, as long as it's available fresh, I'll get that one as much as possible. It's probably like my favorite, new beer this year, Boom Sauce by Lord Hobo Brewing. And I think this is it. And I guess this is fitting for the end. Last question. Do I have any New Year's resolutions? I'm not a big New Year's guy. I just, over the years, half the time I always end up having to work on New Year's Day, so I never really got into the whole New Year's Eve partying thing. I don't need an excuse to party. I'll party anytime, any day. No. So I never really got in New Year's. And the whole resolution thing, I think just creating pressure on yourself and unrealistic expectations and all that. But I mean, last year I'll maybe say something like I want to do something this year. Last year I wanted to exercise more, and I definitely did that. And I want to kind of like keep that going, and even you know push that along even further as you get old. You know, you gotta start taking care of yourself. But I still down the craft and drink the barbecue. But I actually enjoy exercising, believe it or not. I just want to become a better father and a better husband and a better friend and a better bandmate and a better American. No, fuck that shit. I want to buy more horror movies, hopefully. I want to drink a lot of beer, and I want to play a lot of fucking metal shows. And yeah, those are my resolutions. Seriously though, I do have to, me and Lucio Finchi have to write majority of the score for Hope's film, which he has just began the editing process of finally, which is going to probably take, a good year. So that's really a huge, I know it's not really a resolution, but that's a huge goal for this year. Is that not even a goal? We have to get it done. We have to, finish the score, write and record the score for Hope's awesome film. So I guess that would be the closest thing I would have to a resolution besides trying to get more horror movies, which doesn't help the pocketbook. Yeah, that's. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was silly at times, or hopefully it was informative. Thanks for the questions. A lot of them were really cool, except for the stupid fruit question and someone asking what my favorite horror movie of the year is. You will find out. Golden Horn Awards. Please be there, guys. It's the sixth. I can't believe it's the 6th year. Who will who will Starry Eyes? I got the shirt here. Pass the torch on to with the coveted Best Picture nomination. I hope to get more views every year. I still don't get as many as I would like. Not that views matter or anything, but just share the word, spread it around. Join us. We'll be here. I hope you share. Get a lot of people with you. Get your loved one, your friends. Sit around wherever you watch stuff on the old tube, and get together and make a night of it and watch many categories, including Best Actor, Best Actress, Cinematography, Score, Artwork, Indie, Foreign, Low Budget, Comedy, all that, and of course Best Picture. The only horror award show out there every year, the 6th Annual Golden Horn Awards, January 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern, live, right here, with my co-host, Lucio Finchi. Thanks for watching the Q&A that one of you asked for, asking ye shall receive from the Headbanger. We'll see you at the Hornies, guys. It's in a couple weeks. I'm excited. Happy New Year. Donald Trump is about to be our president. Anyway, I'm out of here. Stay scared, everybody. I'm out. See you later. See you at the Hornies.